Welcome back to CTV Morning Live, getting ready for the big game day. Talking screens. Oh, yeah. Scott Miller, Source team expert with me this morning. How are you?
Fantastic.
How could you not be getting ready for the big day?
Absolutely.
Dare I ask what you have in your house?
I have a plasma and an LED.
And an LED. Oh, okay, so let's talk about screens and the differences, because I think you can get really caught up in the technology and the kind of tech speak, and you're just standing there looking at you going, you're able to explain it, what all of these different refresh rates mean, or and all of that for people who want to know, because when you're watching sports, it's actually quite different than watching a movie, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, because there's a lot of fast action. Obviously, the ball will be thrown at the Super Bowl, and you want to be able to see that. Tell me what it is that I'm looking for when I want to make sure that fast action on a screen is actually represented correctly.
Well, plasmas will give you the best refresh rate. They're running at about 600 hertz,
Right.
depending on the plasma that you purchase.
So refresh rate meaning the frames as it moves through, or?
Kind of. It's more like the actual speed of the TV, kind of like the
Okay.
engine of the television.
Right, okay.
Actually, today we actually have a 60 hertz, a 120, and a 600 hertz.
Okay.
So there still is differences in pictures. So when you start getting into some other numbers like 1080p and 1080i are vastly, drastically different.
So is your first question, what will you be using this TV for most?
Yeah, exactly. Where are you going to use it?
Okay.
All TVs do have advantages to them. Like this guy here, for instance, is the most
Yeah,
thin.
well, I'm going to move out of the way so we can get
This
a shot
guy
of how
is
thin that is.
absolutely thin. So mounting above a fireplace, it looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and next to the remote,
It's
you
pretty
can
much
see
just-
how thin it is. I mean, this is super thin.
Yeah, also reproduction of color. This is an actual LED from LG.
And now that's a liquid or light emitting diode. Is that what
that is
LED
correct.
stands for? Okay.
So this guy will actually produce probably the truest color.
Yeah, it's very vivid.
Very,
right?
very vivid. Now, if you look at it in comparison to the plasma is always going to be a little bit darker.
Okay.
However, they do have the highest refresh rates, or 600 hertz.
Right. But do they burn?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's not something to be worrying about anymore.
Right.
The plasma I brought today is a 1080i plasma. So
Okay.
it is a lower grade of a television compared to the LG.
Okay.
Great entry point for somebody if they're looking for a large screen.
This is the beauty of flat screen displays now. It can really reflect your budget. You want to watch the Super Bowl in style, and it's possible, probably no matter where your budget's sitting.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you have a few $100 to spend, you'll be looking at a nice 16:9 display watching Tom Brady lose.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm a Pats fan. So
Oh boy, now we
Can't say
can't
that.
talk. Okay, so I head into the source. So this is a
This is a plasma.
screen.
So-
and behind now this is unfair a little bit, because the Thor. The start screen for Thor is so impressive, but what am I looking at? What TV is this?
This is an LCD from Samsung. It's a 120 hertz television. So if you were watching the game out of the 3 televisions that are probably out here, it's kind of got the best of all the worlds.
Right.
It's running at 120 hertz. So what that means to you when you start, the best example would be auto racing.
Right.
So you take a car, for instance, and you're seeing the actual wheel on the car. You see the spokes in the wheel. Now on a 60 hertz TV, it's just going to look like a wheel, kind of with a blurred out wheel.
Right.
120 hertz, you're actually going to get into something where you're going to see the spokes. And you'll see a little bit of the spokes.
Okay, so
and
more
then
detail.
600 hertz, you're going to actually see the full deal of the wheel. You might even be able to make out the emblem in the middle.
It's almost like being there live.
Exactly.
So if I walk into the source today, Friday, can I walk out of there with a television ready to go for
Absolutely.
Super Bowl Sunday?
Absolutely.
This is one of the things that people might want to consider as well. This right here. This is
Bell's PVR. Most advanced PVR actually right now in Canada.
Okay.
This guy's actually capable of recording the entire game and pretty much the rest of the day. You get 30 hours of record time in
Wow.
HD, which is what really people are after.
How many programs can I record at a time?
You can actually record 2.
Okay, very nice. And the PVR, I don't know how anyone lives without it, honestly. Don't PVR this show, though. Watch it live. And then we get into Blu-ray players, which complement these displays so well.
Absolutely. Not necessarily for the big game, but when the family's sitting around and you
Yeah.
want to watch a movie or whatnot. A lot of these guys do have BD Live as well, which is really, really cool. You can actually plug in, you can chat with your friends while you're
cool.
actually watching the movie.
There's a lot of that internet connectivity with your televisions now, and we'll get into some more of that, some more gadgets coming up in less than an hour with The Source on CTV Morning Live. Coming up in just a moment, we'll give you your headlines. Annette Gerner is standing by with a look at today's top stories next.